According to a superseding indictment, the SPLC paid more than $4.1 million to informants tied to extremist groups, including the KKK from 2010 to 2023. In two cases, informants who were active members of the local KKK chapter reportedly told the SPLC that they wanted out because they feared for their safety. Instead of supporting their exit, the SPLC employee allegedly encouraged them to remain involved and offered them a monthly salary of $1,200 to do so. As a result, one informant rose into a leadership role within the KKK, recruited other new members, purchased KKK materials, and were even reimbursed for expenses related to cross-burning events. I can't make this up. This is not just ironic, sir. It's quite outrageous. Sir, as you highlighted in your testimony, these organizations have survived for 55 years, taking donations from generous donors. During this time, were these donors ever informed where and whom their money was being passed on to?
Congressman Hunt.
Yes, sir.
All the allegations in the indictment will be addressed in the Middle District of Alabama in the case pending against the SPLC.
So you were taking money from people, and were they informed that this was actually funding members of the KKK?
Congressman,
so if a donor says, hey, I'm gonna give y'all $1 million. Did you then say, well, we're actually gonna have a covert operation that's gonna secretly give money to KKK to fund the organization? And then did the donor then say, well, that sounds like a good idea, please take more of my money? That ever happen?
Congressman Hunt, all of the allegations in the indictment will be addressed in the Middle District of Alabama in the criminal proceeding.
So, here in politics, we take money from donors, and, we have a lot of donor meetings, and the first thing we want to do is they want to understand the platform that they are given to. And my guess is that if you have a donor that's given to your organization, you didn't tell them that they were giving money to KKK. That's fair to say. And if they did know that they were giving money to the KKK, I would call that nefarious intent. We have a bigger problem in this country and with your organization. So I will say this. My Democrat colleagues sit here and they defend your organization, and I will use the rest of my time to reiterate what I have said many a day sitting in this chair. The Democrat Party has built an entire political machine on grievance. They don't want to solve problems. They want to reopen wounds of the past. They don't offer vision, they offer victimhood. Racism, white supremacy, Jim Crow, democracy is dying. Why? Because fear is the currency of the Democrat Party. Division is their strategy. Outrage is their oxygen. I had a previous colleague that talked about, seeing a black pilot and what that would mean to Charlie Kirk's comments. And it's funny, black pilot here, by the way. I actually went to flight school, West Point graduate, learned how to fly the Apache helicopter, went to flight school in 2005. You see, there was no DEI. We just simply competed with everyone else, and I was selected, fought in combat, went on to fly 55 combat air missions, and nobody gave a damn what I looked like because I got there on merit. What DEI does is it lowers standards based on race and based on gender. Ma'am, you are nodding your head. First of all, thank you for your legacy. Thank you for your family's legacy. What was your uncle's dream, if you don't mind me asking?
Martin Luther King said he had a dream. It was rooted in the American dream, that one day there would be no black power, no white power, only God power and human power. He wanted us to learn to live together as brothers and sisters and not perish as fools. Why would we only get 10% set aside when we are entitled to the same percentage as every American out of the 100%? I'm gonna yield back to you because I would talk too long. God bless you, sir.
God bless you, ma'am. And what I understand is that as Democrats would have it, they would think that every single black person should be a Democrat, which would make us the only demographic in the entire world that would think that their entire race should belong to one party. And what your uncle was referring to is this: being judged not by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character, and having representation from all people, from all walks of life, on both sides of the party. And I would argue that we are living your uncle's dream. Are we perfect?
Blood,
no, we're not.
one race.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm seated before you today as the United States Congressman. My brother, sister, and I all went to West Point. We're all West Point graduates. We all served our country. And I'm here to tell you that I am living that dream every single day. And I am so proud of you and proud of what you stand for, because I know it's not easy. But I'm so glad that people like you are fighting the good fight for the great future of this country, because we are here living Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. It's why I am sitting here today being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character, from a white majority district in Houston, Texas, and I've been black for my entire life. Stop listening to the crap of the left and realize that we are all in one boat rowing in the same direction because of people like you. We must fight against organizations that want to give a dime.
Few congressional exchanges this year have generated as much attention as Representative Wesley Hunt's fiery remarks during a hearing focused on allegations involving the Southern Poverty Law Center. Hunt opened by highlighting accusations contained in a federal indictment, questioning whether donor money was ultimately used to support confidential informants connected to extremist organizations, including the Ku Klux Klan. His central argument was straightforward. If donors contribute to fight hate groups, would they knowingly support operations that allegedly involved payments to individuals inside those same organizations? The witness repeatedly declined to address the substance of Hunt's questions directly, instead pointing to ongoing criminal proceedings. That response appeared to frustrate Hunt, who pressed harder and harder on the issue of donor transparency. But the hearing quickly evolved into something much larger than a debate over one organization. Hunt pivoted into a broader discussion about race, politics, and identity in America. He argued that too many political leaders rely on fear, division, and grievance rather than solutions. According to Hunt, Americans are increasingly being encouraged to view themselves through the lens of race and victimhood, rather than personal achievement and shared national identity. Then came the most personal and memorable portion of his remarks. Hunt reminded the room that he is a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point, trained as an Apache helicopter pilot, and flew dozens of combat missions in service to the country. He emphasized that his accomplishments were earned through competition and merit, not through preferential treatment. His message was clear. Excellence should be rewarded regardless of race, gender, or background. Whether viewers agree with his position on diversity initiatives or not, there is little doubt that his personal story gave weight to his argument. Hunt presented himself as living proof that success is possible when individuals are judged on performance and character, rather than demographic categories. The emotional high point of the hearing came when Hunt engaged with a relative of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who described King's dream as a future where Americans live together as brothers and sisters and are judged by character rather than skin color. Hunt seized on that moment, arguing that America, while imperfect, has made extraordinary progress toward that vision. He pointed to his own election as a black Republican representing a majority white district in Texas as evidence that voters are capable of looking beyond race when selecting their leaders. Supporters will see Hunt's comments as a powerful defense of individual achievement, national unity, and the ideals articulated by Dr. King decades ago. Critics, however, are likely to argue that racial disparities and systemic challenges still exist and require ongoing attention. Regardless of where you stand politically, one thing is undeniable: Hunt delivered one of the most passionate and talked about speeches of the hearing. His remarks touched on race, opportunity, patriotism, and the future direction of American politics, issues that continue to shape debates across the country. The bigger question now is whether moments like this help bridge America's political divide, or deepen it even further. Let us know what you think in the comments. What did you think of Representative Wesley Hunt's comments? Was this a powerful defense of merit and unity, or do you disagree with his assessment? Drop your thoughts below, hit the like button, subscribe for more congressional hearing highlights, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest moments from Washington.